From the PEP Radio Newsroom, this is the News Blast for this hour. LGBTQ Nation is reporting that, well, before I go further, please be advised that this story has profanity and is not suitable for polite company, which could not possibly be further from the so-called religious people described in today's story. Faith leaders in Indianapolis organized a march this past Sunday in protest of a local church that made national headlines for calling for death to LGBTQ plus people. One of the protest's co-organizers said the message is that LGBTQ plus people exist no matter what the church says, even in their presence. Existing in their presence is something they do not believe Christ would approve of. Co-organizer Cass Jackson told Indy Star. Earlier this month, the Sure Foundation Baptist Church in Indianapolis posted a sermon from so-called pastor, Stephen Falco to YouTube, where he used anti-gay slurs and called for killing LGBTQ plus people. This is the part with the profanity in it. There's nothing good to be proud about being a fag, Falco said in his sermon. You ought to blow yourself in the back of the head. You're so disgusting. Why do I hate sodomites? Why do I hate fags? Because they attack children. They're coming after your children. They are attacking them in schools today, and not only schools, in public places, and they're proud about it. YouTube removed the video, and the church defended the sermon, saying the Bible is crystal clear that sodomites, homosexuals, deserve the death penalty carried out by a government that actually cares about the law of God. Funny, last I checked, we lived in the United States, which follows the rule of law. The rule of law. But local religious leaders didn't want the hateful church to have the final word on the matter. So they organized a protest this past Sunday. The group of concerned clergy of Indianapolis countered the church's message. We are called to be a sanctuary for the marginalized, not a platform for prejudice, the group said in a statement. Dozens of people gathered outside the church with signs that read, trans rights are human rights, stop the hate, true Christians preach love, and murder is wrong. They also had rainbow and trans pride flags. Equality Indiana called Falco's sermon inflammatory and extremist, saying it could inspire violence against the community. When you have that type of hateful and violent language, it could lead to someone taking those words and feeling protected to be able to go and commit violent acts against our community, said G. David Caudill of Equality Indiana. That's the News Blast for this hour, but do allow me a moment for comment. First, ignore what these stupid, knuckle-dragging morons are saying. They do it for the sheer adrenaline rush and think that they are only talking with like-minded troglodytes. Their message is being heard loud and clearly on the outside of their little church. These are bullies and bigots, full stop. They do not deserve the title of clergy and most certainly do not deserve to be called Christian, whatever that means. If you encounter anyone like this, better to simply walk away from them and not engage. However, if given no choice but to confront them, remind them that their interpretation of the Jebus book isn't the rule of law and that words can neither harm you nor dissuade you from living authentically. Up next, we have the Meadville area weather forecast here on PEP Radio.